So I've dubbed this session Scholarship 101. Now, this is many sessions that we are going to be taking you through. Now, we're going to have how to look for opportunities for LinkedIn. We are going to have a workshop where you bring your laptop and or your computer, wherever you're watching from, to actually maximize your LinkedIn profile. We're going to have choose opportunities, set target roles. I'm going to follow up on that session. How have you applied for that internship? Whatsoever, as much as possible. So it's a very power-packed session that is not going to take place today. Now, I am going to just give sort of like an introduction of what scholarships is about. And in the subsequent sessions, we are going to have people who have actually, gone through a couple of scholarships applications, and also to be able to speak to us on how, as we are in the university, how we can maximize our opportunities whilst we are in school so that we'll be fit candidate when we come out of school. So I'm going to just give a brief history about myself. I call it history because those things are gone and I'm actually pursuing much higher things. My name is Lois Ifwa Ochiwa Damte. So I'm a Fanti by birth, but I grew up in Accra in Ghana, which is the capital. So I speak a lot of Ghana. I'm very fluent in speaking Ghana. Now we founded Dear Young Graduate. I and a couple of friends. Let me give an acknowledgement to Priscilla Dedetete here. She handles social media on Dear Young Graduate. Eric Anyete, who handles programs, and Nana Duma, I guess those who sent an email, she's the co-founder. Now we founded Dear Young Graduate. Now, Dear Young Graduate is not for people who have just come out of the university of something. Even if you've come out of the university in 2018, I still see you as a Dear Young Graduate in pursuing higher education. So I'm a PhD student at the Open University and I'm studying materials engineering. Now, if you're here and you did some materials engineering or you're doing materials engineering, drop it in the chat box, drop it in the chat box, drop it in the chat box. Yeah. And so I'm currently focusing on working on a research project that is looking at using low cost materials, which are known as photocatalytic materials. I'm not going to go in depth with that, for wastewater treatment in Ghana. And I'm funded by a project called the Global Challenges Research Fund. Now, let me tell you one enticing thing about my project, my funding. Now, my funding is a fully funded project, and they are giving me a full flight ticket from Ghana and on 3 times whilst I'm doing my PhD from Ghana to the UK and UK and back. And also they've given me a laptop as well, through the funding, which is through the scholarship. They're giving me a camera and a drone for fieldwork activities as well. And also they are paying for my tuition. And they're also paying my accommodation as well. And they also give me money to go to school. So I'm telling you this because we are going to talk about that in the in the near minutes, why that scholarship is giving me all those opportunities. Now, I also serve as a director of Sankofa Mentorship Hub. Now, it's in alliance with Synergist Institute Ghana. We currently won a project called the STEM for Africa project, where we are looking at capacitating younger children in terms of developing their love for STEM, where we use the science set. I don't know whether you've come across the science set by Text Technology to do that as well. Now, I was currently, like last year, I was just out of nowhere listed as one of 74 people who inspire Ghana because one of my research projects actually gained ground. I got the opportunity to present at the British House of Commons. The British House of Commons is like the member of parliament in Ghana, but they have a science set stuff. So I got Boris to listen to me as well. And I've been a major recipient of a couple of scholarships. So I've seen a lot of these scholarships, and at least I have some 2 cents how this works. So I've had the opportunity to be on the Royal Academy of Engineering here in the UK. I've had the opportunity to be on the Engineering X project where I was talking about the STEM for Africa, the Global Challenges Research Fund, and the Leverhulme Royal Society African Award, Robert Stafford Bosch Award for Young African Researchers. I'm a very young girl. I'm below the age of 30, if that's also so I'm actually your bigger sister, some could, or even some of them, you're actually older than I am. But I'm trying to tell you that in all ages and in all phases, you can still be what you want to pursue, or you can still go for what you want to do. Um, no matter your age, and you can optimize it even. I have a friend who is just like 26 from Nigeria, who just got a PhD. So I mean, she strategically knew what she wanted, and so right after school she started going for it, and she bagged a lot of I mean, a master's degree here and finished a PhD as well. Now I'm going to use a little bit of my life story to actually tell you what I did while I was in school before we go into the scholarship. So I was in the materials engineering department in University of Ghana, Legon, some 6 years ago. Now, what I did was that my research project, by then what I was working on, had the opportunity to get a fully funded internship right after school. So in my fourth year, I got the opportunity to come to the UK and work on a project called the European Bioenergy Research Institute Award. And so that particular scholarship was a fully funded internship. And that fully funded internship took care of my accommodation, took care of my feeding, took care of my flights in and out, and all of that. So if you're here and you think that whilst you're in school, you cannot still optimize your opportunities to seek higher education or try and channel your way through in seeking higher education, then it's a lie. If you say, oh, I'm not ready, I don't have a lot of experience, it's also a lie. So you can optimize it to start from a very young age. So I'm daring you, if you're here, that right after here, go look for an opportunity or a fully funded internship and apply for it and go for it. Now, somewhere after the fully funded internship, I got the opportunity. I started applying for a master's program. Now, I wasn't getting the master's program, which was outside the country. So I was trying to build capacity in terms of when build capacity, it means that try and be a master of my game. A master of my game. So I ended up going for conferences. Now, there are also fully funded conferences that you can attend. International fully funded conference where they pay for your flight, they pay for your accommodation, and they give you money as well just for a sitting. And mind you, maybe I should share the story. I'm not a first class student. I wasn't a first class student as well. I was a second class upper, but just below a lower. Okay, so I just knew that, and I mean, I don't know whether Priscilla will be also ready to share that, but she's also wasn't a second class upper student, but was a lower. But she also got the opportunity to study in Italy on a fully funded master's as well. So I mean, your class doesn't matter. It's what experiences that you're coming out of school with that matters. Now, I wasn't part of a lot of, I mean, things back in school. So when I was getting out of school, I decided to maximize my 1 year of search for a master's program by going for a lot of conferences in the fully funded internship, applying for them. I mean, going for like you could see me everywhere and everywhere. I went to France for a little bit to spend time in the lab. I was even ready to tell the supervisor or the person that was going to work with that, if you're not ready to pay me, I don't mind. I just want that experience. So I was building my experience portfolio so that I'll be a viable candidate for that opportunity. So this is one of the few things in my life that has led me here. So I got the opportunity to study on a master's degree here in the UK as well. It was known as the Liverhome Royal Society African Award. And that couldn't pay for my tuition back in Aston University in the UK. So it paid for only my research and my lab and everything. So I did 1 year in Legon, an MPhil in Legon. Then I did sorry if I'm a bit jittery because I'm admitting people at the same time, so I'm a bit like jittery, but bear with me. Nana Duma is joining in soon, and I'll make her the host so that she could be admitting the people. So I got the opportunity to do a 1 year master's here in the UK at the Aston University on a project that was converting oils to biofuels. Then I also got the opportunity right after the master's to do a field work in Ghana, which was promoted to an MPhil in Ghana. So like I wasn't bothered about, okay, is this going to waste my time? This is not the direction I want to go to. So it's sort of what I was doing was building experience. I know I wasn't like a first class student, and probably if they are looking for that, they will look for a first class student. But I know I wasn't like there yet. So I was just building experience. So there's something I always say, that the number of years you leave school, your experience, your grade become less important. Whether a first class, second upper, lower, nobody cares. Now it's what can you bring on the table. Now, if somebody walks into this room and says that, okay, I'm a first class student, I'm going to look at you and be like, okay, but if somebody comes in and says that I was part of this project that builds a solar panel on this, well, I was part of this volunteering activity that fed 10,000 people on that. Now that person has capacity. Now, before I even get to even ask the person, what class did you make? I mean, I'm not even going to ask you what class did you make. I know that this person has the experience and the portfolio to be able to handle that project that I'm going to give the person. So nobody really cares about, oh, I am the first class student and I am da da da. What they care about most is that, what are you bringing on the table? So now the question that you need to ask yourself is that, what am I bringing on the table? Now that's a question you need to ask yourself. So like I've spoken about, we forming like a little bit about my life. And so if you're here and you're not following like Dear Young Graduate on Facebook, I'll ask you that, do follow Dear Young Graduate on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, every platform that you're part of. So one of the things we are doing is being able to provide assistance and resources to international students from underdeveloped and developing countries, um, everywhere, to be able to access higher education. That is why this platform was formed. And I felt like, okay, I had the opportunity because I was exposed. I mean, a bit moving to be able to get this opportunity. But not everybody is like that. So one of the main things was to be able to provide guide so that you wouldn't come to say that, oh, I couldn't get the opportunity. I was a bit confused. Nobody was there to help me and all of that. So every step of the way, we are going to provide that guide for you. And if you have actually come across people who are actually like soliciting for money and all of that, yes, it's quite a tedious process, and some people have that expertise. But I didn't get that opportunity through paying for money. So I felt like, oh, I have friends and people who have actually been to these countries, who have written a few scholarship processes. Let me bring all of them together. The little time that they can help in helping in the mentoring, in helping in bringing stuff on the table, they can help that. So we are going to provide mentorship, guidance, a lot of prep materials to you students who are here, and also provide fully funded opportunities. So if for any reason you think you have the money to be able to pay for your education, that's fine. But I have had the experience to enjoy this fully funded internships and fully funded scholarships. So I would present the best that I have had to you. And I know the privilege if you have a fully funded opportunity. And these are through a lot of live sessions. So we have a lot of live sessions on our Facebook, interaction with alumni from different universities, scholarship managers, scholarship experts, everywhere and anywhere, as far as my link could serve me. Like I said, we're going to be learning a bit. I've spoken about the scholarships, the program format of DYG, what we have in packet for you, timeline, program curriculum, and what is after Scholarship 101. So basically what scholarship is that they are monetary payment that are being given to deserving applicant based on your academic achievement, um, based on your academic achievement. And Anaduma, if you're here on Zoom, I've made you the host. Can you please admit people? Okay, someone just sent me a message that they're trying to admit people. Sorry, Facebook guys, because we are still managing everything on Zoom and on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you want to join on Zoom as well, you can request for the link. There are people in there who are also helping. So I call it like they are going to give you a huge sum of money if you are able to meet certain requirements that are set by the scholarship sponsor. Now, every scholarship is given by a particular sponsor. It could be by NGOs, it could be by the school, it could be by charity organizations. Like my scholarship is given by the UKRI, which is called the UK Research and Innovation, and under that they have a team where they call the Global Challenges Research Fund, where they give out to people that are doing instrumental things in their home countries as well. So I call this monetary gift that they give free money, because it's basically like saying, I always say that bring your body. It's like you can actually leave wherever you are in your country on a zero bank account, because I didn't have any account money in my account. But the moment you are given the scholarship, you are giving a scholarship letter. Now, that scholarship letter will serve as a proof when you are going to apply for your visa. So if you've heard that a lot of people have said that, oh, I went to apply for a scholarship, a visa, and I was bounced on a student visa, then that person didn't have a scholarship. Now, when you have a scholarship, you have a scholarship number and a scholarship letter. Now, I always say that the scholarship comes in the form of financial need, based on academic performance, or based on merit. And usually it's a specific area of study. Like example, you are here, you do food science, you do business administration. Now they are saying that they are giving scholarship based on that particular area of study, or they are giving that based on your interest. Probably you're a business administration, but you're very interested in global governance and setting out of policies. So sorry, there's a scholarship for global governance and public policy, or based on your achievement. That's probably the one that states that, okay, you've actually set up an NGO that is helping to do that and do that and do that, and they can give you a scholarship based on that. So it goes beyond your grades. Now, there are certain eligibility criterions that scholarship people set. Now, they're going to set that you always have to look out for that. Now, I always say that when you're looking out for a scholarship, the first thing you should look is that, are you eligible? Now, if you're eligible, they'll ask either probably you should be from this country or from this region. Okay. So if you're not from this country, you are not eligible. That one, you don't have anything to do really. Or it's either based on gender or your field of study. Like I said, if you've seen a business administration, obviously if you're from the sciences, you know that an MBA, but always there's a way to switch from a science to an MBA, or from an MBA to a science. Now, these are all tactics that we are going to be leading you through. If you probably did food science and now you want to change career to doing data analytics, or now you're interested in IT stuff, there's a way where you can outline it clearly, actually take that opportunity in that field. It's clearly and available and possible as well. Now, you can be given based on your social engagement, based on your voluntary work, based on sporting, like all these affiliations, scholarships are given based on that. Now, they're going to give you probably to a few dollars or pounds or euros, or several thousands. Like my scholarship personally has quite a number of pounds as compared to a normal, like somebody on a normal scholarship. And for some way, I mean, scholarships do help you if you're traveling. Now, think about it this way: you're leaving your country to another home country. Now, whatever you've heard, probably you've heard that you could work here. Now, know that a student will be giving a visa based on the fact that your account or your money in your account could fund you for your whole studies, either a master's or a PhD during that time. So you should be able to provide a proof. That's why I said that the scholarship letter tells that we are giving this amount and this amount to this particular person, and is able to take care of the person throughout the 2 year stay in the master's program. And they actually attach a bank account details, so the visa people can actually see the bank account details that is to the student. So always and always, I always say a fully funded. Now I explain that in the future what I mean by that. Like I said, that there are various sources through which you can get these funding opportunities, through private businesses, not profits, and all that. Some of the applications you might see are pretty simple. They'll just ask you for your CV or a letter, a statement of purpose, or some of them may ask you that provide a long list of scholarship essays, but which we are here to guide you for. Now, I said something that they are fully funded scholarships. And if you followed me on Facebook or any of the platform, I always say that anytime you're going for an opportunity, I would always advise that you go for a fully funded scholarship. So now you would need to know what the fully funded scholarship does. Like I mentioned earlier, the fully funded scholarship will pay for your school fees, which we call tuition fees. They'll pay for your visa. They'll pay for your um, um, flight ticket on any flights that you want to come with. And almost all my opportunities I've had to use KLM or BA because I usually come in and out of the UK, and they pay for any books that you have to use. Then they pay for certain things like non-essentials, like things that can help in your field work or academic point of study. So I always advise people to always go for fully funded scholarship. However, the process is quite tedious, but it's worth going through the process and coming out fruitful. And I just could share that there was a girl who just came out of University of Mind, UMA, and she got two fully funded scholarships. Now she didn't know what actually to take, and she just got out of school as well. So there was no point at which you could say that she worked or she had gained a certain level of experience whatsoever. But no, like I've said, there's also partial funding. Now, the partial funding could either pay for uh, the sorry, I think somebody is the partial funding could Francis. Nana Duma, could you mute Francis for me? Thank you so much, Nana. So the partial funding could either pay for your school fees and require that probably you pay for your accommodation. And so with that, you will need to provide proof for that. Or probably they're going to give you like £3,000. And usually I'm not a big fan of partial funding, but if you probably your parents have the capacity to be able to pay for that, then you can go for that partial funding and substitute it with other things as well. So like you said, you can either get a scholarship, which is fully funded, that will pay your tuition, textbooks, living expenses. You can go for student loans, but for student loans, what happens is that you already need to be in the country. If you're already in your home country like Ghana or Nigeria or Burkina Faso or Kenya, and you're applying with a student loan, you wouldn't be granted a visa because they believe that where are you going to get that money to pay for that loan? But if you already come into the UK or come into Canada or US or stuff, you can apply for the student loan probably to buttress yourself and do other student work. So usually a student visa, they give you 20 hours of working experience. So you can actually work with your 20 hours to make up and pay for that loan based on your affordability. Now you can pay as low as £2 or £3 every month until you either get a job in the home country. Now a lot of countries have introduced what we call postgraduate visas and stuff, postgraduate visas and stuff, so that you can work after your master's in that home country, in the UK, in Canada, in US as well. You can also get a financial aid to support your tuition, textbooks, living expenses. Usually US does that a lot, or you can get grants to also support you. Now let's come back to that, the document that you require. Now the top 4 document, if you're here and you don't have your passport, if you're here, you still think that getting a passport is a luxurious way of life. That was me back then, some few years ago. I was like, why do I need like, there was no way I was going to travel. Like, why do I need a passport? Why do I? Please, if you have to save, okay, to get a passport. I missed my first opportunity to go to Ireland, yeah, you call it Ireland, yeah, sorry, because at the time the opportunity was ready, my passport wasn't ready. I got duped by a lot of people just to get me that passport. Now, making a passport in Ghana or anywhere in the world is quite not a tedious process. Please go through the process and get your passport ready now. Now, if you're done with school, if you're from Legon, you have to find a way to get your degree certificate anywhere. Now find a way to get your degree certificate ready, because any master's program you apply for will ask for your degree certificate. Now, if you do not have your degree certificate ready, because probably in Legon you graduate a year after you finish school. I can't remember how it works. Maybe during my time, but now probably you graduate in July and you're seeing an opportunity that's opening in April. Now, what I did was that I sent in my transcripts. Okay, and I said that the certificate will be available during this time. So get your degree certificate ready. Now your CV, your curriculum vitae. Now there's a way to write an academic CV that is a bit different from how you write your professional CV looking for a job. And I've provided a guide. Nana Duma, if you can help me, Akosia, if you can help me on Facebook and on Zoom, drop the link on how to write a CV. But the next session that we are going to have, you would take your CV that you have, or we are going to teach you how to draft a CV, academic CV from scratch. And I think that's the next 2 weeks, but we'll stay in touch. If we don't have your email, please put your email in the chat box, because the sessions are going to be one after we are done with this tertiary edition. You should get a fully funded internship even before starting your master's, or a fully funded conference even before starting your master's. If you agree with me, drop some ones in the chat box. One. If you are here, you are on Facebook and you believe in what I've said, drop one in the chat box. Good, good, good. I see some ones coming in. Okay, more people are still here with me, and you're not sleeping. I see that. I see that. Okay, so we're going to learn how to draw our curriculum vitae. Now, that will be a master document. That is what your selling point will be. And I'll show you, we are bringing a career expert, somebody on one of the most prestigious awards here and around, to be able to teach you how to draft your academic CV. So be ready to drop some ones. I see a lot of ones. Good, good, good. Then now the next document is your personal statement or a motivation letter. And quite a number of people ask that. Now, the personal statement is saying that, what have you as an individual? Now, you've seen a scholarship in business administration that is given an MBA. What have you as an individual gained, that if you are given the opportunity to do the master's or the PhD, you'll be able to, impact into that program? What is the motivation with doing that? Now, let me give you even a tip of the iceberg. It's like saying that I created a project known as EBL. I named the project Energizing a Billion Lives. Now, that was during the time, I don't know which age you were, but during the time that there was doomsday in Ghana. And what I was trying to do was that there was doomsday in Ghana because there was no electricity and stuff like that. But the main point was that if I'm able to create, where we know that a lot of these solar panels are brought from the UK or anywhere outside the world, but we have the solar abundantly in Ghana. If we are able to capacitate the people, the individuals, to be able to create their own solar panels. Now, when we are able to create our own solar panels and assemble them together, then we'll be able to also fix them when it breaks down. So a lot of these opportunities are lost because we get a lot of people from outside the world bringing the opportunities. Now the solar panels are broken down and nobody can fix it, and it's there. Now, if the people in the community are thoughts, now we involve the community workers, that if they are also taught to be able to fix their own problems, then they'll be able to fix their own solar panels. And due to that, there'll be a lot of small scale industries that will be formed in that community, like hairdressing, like cold store to be able to keep fruits and fridges and carpentry and all of that. So I created that project, and that was my motivation to be able to get the master's program in Aston University at the European Bioenergy Research Institute. So they found out that this is a purpose-driven person, and the motivation behind that particular scholarship, it will be worth giving that scholarship to the person. So if you understand how, so that is the motivation. So what is your motivation to be able to do that master's program? It should be able to set you differently. Now, if you're here and you're thinking about doing a master's degree, know that there is somebody in Pakistan who is also thinking the same. There's somebody from India who is also thinking the same. There's someone from wherever who are also thinking the same thing. Now, how will it make you different from that other person who is also applying for that same opportunity? And that's what the personal statement and the motivation letter proves you to have. Now, other document that they sometimes do require is the transcript. That's for cases where your certificate is not ready, you can use your transcript to buttress it. Now, English proficiency test. Unfortunately, we have to prove that we can speak English. As fluent as my English sounds, we still have to prove that we speak English, because there are people from different other countries that English is not their first language. So they have to prove that they will be able to communicate and study on the program or the masters when they are giving in English. So you would have to prove your English proficiency. But I've written that that can be waived. And when I mean waived, it's that that can be like, you can write to the admission board, tell them that your first language is in English. If you're in Legon or KNUST, you're anywhere, you can ask for an English proficiency letter. Now, ask alumni of your school who have traveled as well, that where did they get their English proficiency letter? Now, in Legon, I know you can get it from Academic Affairs Directorate. You can get that. In KNUST too, I know you can get it from the Academic Affairs Directorate. Other universities, ask yourself that where can you get that? And you would you can prove, show that as a proof. Now, though, write as a proof that you've gotten you speak English, you've done your course in English, and so you are eligible and do not need the English proficiency letter. Now, there are certain scholarship specific essays as well that you will need to write, and reference letters. So what I'll say about reference letters is that I know a lot of you here are not like that. Are not like that with your lecturers, but at least get one lecturer in your university, just one lecturer in your university that can you will go to when you need a reference letter or a recommendation letter from. Even if it's one or two, the more the better. But one or two, if you're not like that with lecturers, is the best way to go. Now, for certain scholarships where they are actually like proof of work, leadership experience, you will need to provide that you're actually working in that institution. Those are certain scholarships. Now, some scholarship also asks for health certificate, and that one you can always get it from the hospitals. When you tell them you're going to school and you want to apply for that, you can get it from your certificate. So there are certain scholarships that open every year. Every year, them day. If you are here and you're in the chat box, write them day. Like every year, whatever be the case, that that scholarship will open. Okay, so it's like the Chevening scholarship. If you don't know about it, it gives fully funded masters to certain selected schools in the UK. Them day, thank you. I see them day, yeah, exactly. These scholarships, whether you like it or not, they so this particular scholarship, Chevening scholarship, it gives you the opportunity to study on the masters in the UK. And so it opens in every August. So I know from 2 months from now is going to open. So if you're here and you're in the university, you're still in tertiary institution, have Chevening at the back of your mind. What what should I do to actually get the Chevening? Now, the Chevening usually is very competitive, and usually it requires that you've been able to do something valuable. Now, if you are actually in the university and you have built a lot of voluntary experience, you actually have an NGO on your own where you are manning affairs. Now, this particular scholarship goes right into that. Now, there's Commonwealth scholarships, and Commonwealth scholarships can be classified into Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, Commonwealth Distant Scholarships. Now, the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, you get the opportunity to do a 1 year in the UK. I've actually interviewed a couple of people on the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship as well on my YouTube channel. And Anaduma, if you Akosia, if you can drop the YouTube channel, if you can follow these conversations on your free time, like you're on a Saturday, you're not going anywhere. Just listen to how it is, what they are sharing, how they were able to get the scholarship. Just listen to it leisurely and see how you can position your life to be able to get or target that particular scholarship. It's not really something that's it's very um Dios, if I can use that word, because we are all uni student here. But if you can, if you can arrange your trajectories, and I'll teach you journaling, how to journal in another session. We are going to teach you how to journal your achievement or the little things you've done. Um, these are the Commonwealth scholarships. It's for to study a master's and a PhD in the UK as well, and if you want to. Now, the Swedish Institute Scholarship. Now, Sweden is a beautiful place. I don't know. A lot of people just have their ideology when I ask is that I want to go study in the UK or in the US or in Canada. Perfect. But Sweden is an amazing place if you have to even, transport with your family as well. Like maybe you finish school, you get married immediately, you want to go study your master's, but it's hindering you. If you are here, the Swedish scholarship gives that availability to be able to do that, to be able to, travel with your family. The flexibility of it, and it takes care of everything that comes with it. And it's also opens every February as well. So if you're also looking out that, look out for that. Now there's a mixed scholarship to study in Japan, also in the master scholarships. Don't be reluctant to go to Japan. Now let me tell you a story of a friend. A friend happened. He was actually a first class student who actually even got the Dean's Award and stuff like that. And during the time that we were always applying, she wasn't even getting that opportunity. She wasn't getting the opportunity. Now, this person moved down to Turkey to do a master's degree. And everybody would be like, why would you even go to Turkey? Now, the guy is back in Canada and is studying on a PhD in Canada. So it's really about what you can build. Nigerians will say what you can do to jackpot, just jackpot and build the capacity and the experience to propel you to another height. Okay, now there's the Fulbright scholarship, which is in the US, and I'll speak a bit about the US now. Now for the US, if you want to do, when I was a TA back in university, all the level 100 student who happened to become the TA when I left now got a straight PhD. They got a straight PhD from their BSc to a PhD. Now, in the US, it is if you want to do a PhD at the long run, I always say that there's no point in doing a master's before a PhD. You can do from a BSc, undergraduate, straight to a PhD. And those opportunities are given by the US. Now, it's called the graduate assistantship positions. The graduate assistant positions, and those are either research assistantship or teaching assistantship. Now, when you get that opportunity, it's a 5 years course because you've jumped your master's and you've jumped your PhD. So you're going to do a 5 years. But I know people who have finished in 3 years or 4 years based on their speed. Now, what is done is that you'll be a teaching assistant in the university, and that is what is going to be used to pay for your tuition. They are going to use to pay for your flights. They are going to use to pay for everything. And along the way, you can also get some scholarships that are present in the school in the US as well. So if you want to do a PhD and you want to go from a straight PhD and you're here in the US, you can go from a BSc straight to a PhD. You don't necessarily have to do a master's. But if you just want the experience, or probably, I always say that don't cast your eggs in one basket. Put all your eggs in other basket. Whichever one picks, they pick. And I know a lot of people who are doing this, and they finish their PhD by the age of 25, 26, and they are good to go. So yeah, these opportunities are available. Now there's a Holland scholarship to study in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, which is also close to me, to study on a fully master's. Usually it's for the research institutions. There's New Zealand scholarships. They are for the Canadian one as well. In the chat box as well, if you can put, there are other Canadian scholarships that you can apply for, fully funded. Even there's one that is open here that is known as the Vanier Scholarship as well, to study in Canada. and it's actually great. You can go for all these opportunities as well. Now, there are lots of countries that offer scholarship, and I always say that out of 215 countries that we have in the world, why box yourself in 2 or 3 countries and stay safe there when you can actually move from here to there? So why don't you take advantage of the opportunity? If that opportunity opens for you in Netherlands, in Japan, go grab that experience there. Whilst you're waiting, probably you're waiting for 2 years to get that scholarship. You could have actually built an experience in that 2 years in another country that could help you to apply for the other country that you want to go to. And I hope I'm clear. So I always say that if an opportunity come your way, grasp it, take it like you mean it, and make the best out of that opportunity. So I just put a list of countries that do offer scholarships, and also where you can actually look out for so that you can plan your trajectory. Now I always say that before you're looking for it, look for a scholarship that is in your area of study. Now, if your area of study, there are so many scholarships that are open in that way that do not state that masters in business administration, but they are saying they are giving masters. Any link that you see that is written fully funded, just click on it and read about it. The moment you're able to read about it, you'll be able to know what the scholarship is about. Then you can take the opportunity from there. But don't box yourself and trying to secure yourself in one bag. Now, I put together a lot of opportunity. Now, just yesterday, I saw a PhD that needed a BSc in TV production. And I was just marveled. I was like, wow, TV production. That means that it's going to show how they do script writing, cartooning, and all of that. So there are opportunities in every field that you can think of. You just need to be able to maximize and tailor how your expertise fit into that role. And all the other sessions, I'll entreat that you join, because at the end of that particular session, you'll be able to know that you did a business administration, but you can actually move into how to do sustainability management, where whatever you learned in terms of accounting can help channel cost in across Africa, or can help channel cross in the international world. So you do not need specifically um, a business administration to look out for business administration before you click. You have to look out for other opportunities and how you can channel yourself. Like I was talking about the Energizing a Billion Lives, it was strictly an engineering program, but I was able to create a social economic value out of that engineering project. Okay. So I just put a list of courses that are being funded under a master's or a PhD, irrespective of whatever you want to do. All the opportunities are there. I said that there's opportunity for everybody in every field. You just need to be able to tailor your applications to it. Now, I just put a list of how to find a scholarship. The general way to find a scholar, the first thing is that you can just Google search. Your Google platform, just type fully funded scholarship in engineering. There will be something that will pop up. There'll be something that will pop up that you can have a read through, because there are a lot of portals that are there that are going to help you. So the first way to search for a scholarship before asking anybody is just to Google search. Search fully funded scholarship in economics, fully funded scholarship in engineering, fully funded scholarship in that on Google, and something would definitely pop up. Now, you can search for fully funded scholarship in the US, fully funded scholarship in the UK. I mean, irrespective, if you're depending on what you're trying to target, you can just Google search and it will pop up. Um, Now you can follow Dear Young Graduate. Like I say, we always post fully funded opportunities for you as well, so that you'll be able to, access these opportunities. Now, there are other scholarship website and portals and social media handles that do that provide scholarships like we also do. Nana Dumao Akosia, if you are in the chat box, drop in that link. So I did a YouTube video to talk about the 8 best scholarships that you can actually go search for scholarship. And recently, I just updated with 17 best websites that have popped up. But I always say that stick to Dear Young Graduate as a tertiary student and look at the opportunities that pop up and see that this is something I would love to do. Maybe you're doing microbiology and or you're doing biotechnology or you're doing agric science, but there's an opening in forestry. Oh, so there could be something like that. Then that means that if I'm done with school, I can actually look out for that. So I put the scholarship websites and names down. If if you go watch the YouTube channel, they have the links there. We'll provide them in the chat box as well. Opportunity for Youth, Opportunity Desk, DevWise, Scholarship Portal. All these are scholarships portals that you can find scholarships 365, Scholarship Hub, Scholars for Dev. I mean, they are just a numerous amounts of scholarship, and there are a lot of conferences there as well, fully funded internships there as well. There are a lot of opportunities there that you can actually go look out for. Now, one way to also make your own opportunity is to contact a supervisor yourself. So if you go to the school's website, maybe you go to uh, University of Strathclyde, and you've realized that there's a supervisor or there's a professor that is doing something on that microbiology or is doing something in economics. Now you can cold mail that professor in the sense that I've given a format on how to cold mail the supervisor on my YouTube channel. Go there, watch it, and the next sessions as well will teach you how to cold mail a supervisor to say that my name is maybe Caleb Kumi. I can see Caleb writing, so I can use his name as an example. My name is Caleb. I'm a first year. I just completed my undergraduate and I worked on this project. I saw a very interesting project you're working on. Is there a way I could also offer my expertise in terms of being able to apply for an internship, or could you be able to help me to apply for a master's degree, or do you have any master's openings that I could also take advantage of? And see, they are not like our professors in our African countries, and I'll say here loud and clear because I've also been there. They always answer emails. They'll always get back to you to say, sorry, I cannot, or yes, there's an opportunity, contact so, so, and so. And I've had a one-on-one session with a lot of people that we've done that method and it is working for them. So you can also take that opportunity and the way to do it and go for it as well. So one of the things I always say, if you're a tertiary student, that you should start early. Like right now, you actually have an idea that there could be a fully funded scholarship. Let me now tease you something. Now, when I was coming out of school immediately, I told my mom one thing, that if there is a fresh year, like a fresh job after the university, that will pay me £1,200. And that's how much they pay for a master's here. £1,200 is times 8 now, which is 9,600 Ghana cedis. I don't know how much in Nigeria or Burkina Faso, or anywhere in the country. If I can get a job that could pay me that amount, I would not do the fully funded like the masters. And she couldn't answer that. So if that money you could provide, I could get that money, and that money could take care of family. If you also have responsibilities, I don't mind actually going out there to actually, study, because that's what I love to do, and also use that money to be able to take care of home. So do not be worried. Probably maybe you go. What's the essence in sitting there? Like what I've been saying, that you are trying to build experience. You're in NAPCO, it's paying you um 50 or 80 pounds. Maybe it's a step in the right direction for you, but you can actually get higher. So if you have to put in the job, sit down at night, and to get 9,600 pounds Ghana city to be able to take back home and also support home and all that. That was one of the ways I used to blackmail my mom to get me to do this. So you can also get yourself to do this as well. And so if you're here and probably your parent don't see the need for it and you really want to do it, I always say that that's a way. So you need to start early and don't stop, because it's quite a tedious process. And like when I was doing it, I didn't have any help. But now we've created a session called Scholarship Buddy that is going to help you read through your essays and that. I got this opportunity without any help. So you can do it with help, and you can do it much better and 100 times. Don't apply to everything under the sun. Some of them are opportunities that will limit you. Some of them are, I realize that some people, they take them to the country, they don't even give them the scholarship, and they don't, there are a lot of things that I can, but we will help navigate that particular scholarship. Now, be original and creative. Don't go and take somebody essay and write it. You will never get an opportunity. You would do it 1,001 times. You never get, because there's a plagiarism checker that we use, and I've got the opportunity to be able to select master's program in my university as well under my supervisor, and we'll use the plagiarism checker. If it gives you 72%, that means that you're not original. So you want to take the essay from somebody. As far as it's on the internet stores everything, so you cannot hide. And don't expect to win all. I mean, there was a session that we are going to do, maybe if you start, on how, rejections build resilience. You'll be rejected a lot of times, but don't take rejections personal. I always say that even if you're applying for a job, don't take rejections personal. Nobody is coming at you. Is that's probably they needed this and you didn't have it, or somebody else had a better. How do you also get it? Your own time will come as well. Save time and stress using the scholarship search strategy rather than saying, send me this, you send me law, you send me scholarship in this. Meanwhile, I've thought you can just Google search and find them, follow Dear Young Graduate, you can find them, or use the scholarship website every day. Say that every Fridays, I'm going to look whether opportunities are open. Every Mondays, I'm going to look. Every Wednesdays, I'm going to look. Or every Friday, set a date and a time where you're going to look for that opportunity, when it's open, the deadline, so that you will know when to apply for it. Now, I always say that don't search for scholarships alone. Like, if you can have a scholarship buddy or somebody like Charlie, I see scholarship open for here, or they apply, then you apply, or there are sometimes you have to write some essay or something like that. And you can always have that one friend or that buddy that has the same vision, so that maybe probably when you're applying for the scholarship, they can help you, or they can, you can be your own self checker. Charlie, if you read the essay, give me say the grammar they correct, or they tally or something like that. See, like, that is a way to keep yourself on the toes. Like, that's a way to keep yourself on that measure, on that line, so that you guys can just be yourself before you can actually search for a mentor to help you read through. Winning scholarship essays contain strong examples, not just facts. Like, some people start their write about Abraham Lincoln said, hey, we are sorry. Abraham Lincoln has said plenty things. Okay, we don't want to hear Abraham Lincoln again. We are tired. Be original and state what you have been able to do, not just facts. There are no scholarship seasons. Scholarship runs every year. Now, the other scholarships I show you, they are fixed, they are season, but there's a scholarship that opened yesterday. Dear Young Graduate, I always share scholarship on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They open every now and then. So yeah. Now, repurpose, reuse scholarship applications to save your time in your scholarship search. To make your scholarship search stronger, what you need is your work or leadership experience, volunteering experience. Now, there'll be a session where we are going to talk about somebody who just got a scholarship out of school and she built it based on volunteering. And I always say that wherever niche that you find yourself as an individual, find something to do. Now, the scholarship people want you to know that in their country, £1,200 is not anything for a master's student, because work pays actually more. So they want to be able to know that you as an individual is able to offer your expertise irrespective of the money they'll give you. And that can be measured based on volunteering experience. So if there is some conference happening in um, Golden Tulip, and it doesn't require much, just go. It's not a paid just go listen to the conversation. There's sometimes a problem that will even pop up from there that will give you an idea on what you're going to write. Just, make yourself available for that. And also, like, if you're going somewhere and you're part of, like, there's a friend, the girl who just got the 2 scholarships that she doesn't know, she was part of some fishing project where they were helping to, assemble plastics in the ocean that helped in aquatic life, and that's what she wrote, and she got the opportunity. There are other there's a guy I also mentored in marine engineering, and he actually even hadn't finished national service, and he got the scholarship, and they were ready for him to finish national service to get the to go on the master's program. So whilst you are here, what volunteering experience in your field can you gain, or what program can you be part of that can help you to build yourself? And extracurricular activities, I always say that even if you're a cupboard boy, now I can arrange a cupboard boy as I was able to arrange books, okay, based on gender. That is, I did a male and female. I was able to arrange books, or I was in charge of arranging books based on in an alphabetical order. That helped in the ease of like acquiring books by people. I also helped my tutor to be able to figure out people that weren't able to come to school. So that is just a cupboard boy. You could have just written on your CV, I was a cupboard boy 2015 to that. But on the job task role, you were in charge of arrangement of, books, or in journaling of books based on gender, based on that. So don't take every little activity as a very little thing. As the moment you're even part of it. Now, mind you, in the UK or anywhere in the world, US, UK, Canada, Australia, whatever, 1 hour of their time is £9 an hour. £9. So if you even dedicate an hour to lead or to even be part of a conference, it's worth journaling them. Write them down, because they are those extracurricular activities that will help build you. It's like in Ghana, we take a lot of things, or in Africa, we take a lot of things for granted. Oh, but it was just this. There's nothing that but was just that. No, there's nothing like that. The little thing you dedicate your time to, even if you were course rep, put it down. Now you were course representative or a student leader. You write that you were a student leader from this, and a student leader this, and this is what you did. Now we're going to teach you how to write all of that, and some ideas will come to your head. You'll be like, Charlie, but like I remember I did this. So then you write it down. We're going to give you examples on how to tune your CV to be able to meet those opportunities. So these are stories of my friends who are in different parts of the world, that have been on different parts of the scholarship. And I just felt like, the last part of this, before I go to um, putting everything in summary, showing you success stories. Now, Kevin Kayang is actually straight from a BSc to a PhD, and he's in University of Alabama on that graduate assistant scholarship in materials engineering. He was one of my students when I was a TA. Now Deborah Frey is on the MSFS African Scholarship in Georgetown University in the US. This is my very good friend as well, Augustina Sabute as well. She has just been a recipient of amazing so many scholarships. She was from UMass, I guess. Yeah, UMass as well in the US. This is Europe based now. KZR is in Dortmund in Germany. Now, one thing about Germany I need to highlight is that their tuition fees is free. Every school in Germany is free. So you just need to show in your, if you don't have a fully funded scholarship, you just need to show an amount in your block account. You need to show that you have an amount that can take you through 2 years, and you can just come and you get a visa to come to Germany. I just wanted to add that to it. But she's on a scholarship in Dortmund in Germany. Esther is on the Erasmus Mundus Joint Scholarship as well. She did business administration in Legon and went on to University of Claremont. Derek is in Sweden as well. And these are my very good friends. Kwekwanobo Arthur, if you're here, or your big brother who finished school in 2008 and he feels like scholarship is not a place for him. He was in one of Stanbic Heights Bank, worked for over 20 years, and later got a scholarship to study on a PhD as well. So there, Jonas Ajaso was one of my my research project student when I was a TA. He's in University of Oxford now doing a PhD in a place I cannot disclose now unless it's there. And he got the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship as well, straight from a master's, and in one of the the top school in the UK, University of Oxford. So you can get it as well. Brides Jato is also in University of Cambridge on a Commonwealth Playside scholarship as well. So these are just evidences. I couldn't put all of them together because we're going to spend a lot of time, and I don't want that way. So I'm just going to wrap up the session on things that you just need to note on the session we spoke about during that time. If you have a question and probably you asked the question and I wasn't able to, answer that. I wasn't able to answer, put the question back here or send the question personally to me and I'll be able to answer that. We're just going to do that in the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And like you said, there'll be other sessions as well where you're going to learn. So if this was just a general overview of what scholarships are about. I hope I was able to target that. If you have questions, please do put them in the chat box. I'll be ready to answer. And what we spoke about, he was like, I wish the session were, yeah, I really, now, like I said, this is one of the many sessions you're going to have. And so if you're not feeling my energy, now I'm going to bring energy people that are going to help you to even channel your CV, to even channel your that. Like by the time you are done, you'll be like, my 1 hour was worth it for that Saturday. And I just sat down and I was able to do that all by myself in just an hour session. So we were able to talk about scholarships, and I was able to pinpoint that there are fully funded scholarships and there are partial scholarships that you can go for. But I always advise that to be able to get your visa ready and everything easier for you, you will be able to, apply for I was just reading something in the chat box. So it's easier for you to apply for a fully funded scholarship so that you can get your visa. Then you get your 20 hours of working, that you can come whichever country you are in so that you can work as well. I also spoke about the documents that you need. If you're here and you're in tertiary, have those documents at the back of your mind and how to get them. I also spoke about the capacity that you can build, that is in terms of volunteering experiences. What are the leadership experience from now onwards you can take on? If you cannot do that and you are in the university and you can work on a research project, if at the end of your 4th year, I know a lot of people run away from projects and do a 1 year course just to add to it. If you can and you would be able to do, I would advise that. That is one thing also that makes the difference, because undergraduates in the international countries don't do research projects at undergraduate. So when you are coming in with them, they know that you have built capacity in that area to be able to, take that opportunity. So I'll advise that if you can do a research project at the end, please do it. Now, I advise that journal every achievement. Now, from today, have a scholarship book where from this date to that date, from September 2018 to this, I did internship at Glyco. What did you do? I was doing rounds. All your internship experiences also help to add on to your work experiences and your leadership experience, because they all add up to build you as an individual. So journal all your achievement. Were you a student leader? Write it down. When you were back in senior high school, did you take part of a competition that you won? Even if it was just they gave you a Ghana award is book. Even if they just gave you a book, it was still like worthwhile yourself, like trying to have that achievement documented down. Right, all those things. If you can be part of, volunteering as ushering in a science project. If you're a science person, take opportunity of science project that are going on around you. There's GH Scientific. My volunteering is also around Sankofa Mentorship Hub. We have all our social media handles. We are doing Engineering X projects. If you're also an economics person, you can also reach out to probably a master's person in your field, whether you can do something to help them. Business administration, what are you doing to build capacity in your area? I'm going to highlight that because that's one of the things you can work on now. And as far as your grades is concerned, the grades are there. If you can make, I always say that if you can make the first class, make the first class to make it easy. But if you're analyzing yourself right now, and you've not been able to meet that first class, you know that by the end of your 4th year or your 3rd year, you've not been able to make the first class, then you need to be of a competitive advantage and edge in terms of volunteering experience, leadership experience, and all of that. And I think I was able to also talk about the scholarships that happen every year, and also the basic the websites that you can also look for the scholarships as well, and all of that. So like I said, this is just like tidbits of the things that you can do. And so I hope that I was able to touch on as many things that we can. And in our next sessions, which you're going to receive by email, I'll ask that you send your email to Nana Duma Kosia, or if you're also on Facebook, if you can take the emails and keep them so that we can add it to our list. If you also have friends that weren't able to join in this session, you know this session was helpful, tell them about it.